Today we have the last session on the meditation on the breath. And in this course, we have tried to link this meditation on the breath with the non-dualistic understanding of the meditation, based on this Ashwagosha's treatise, Mahayana Shradotpada Shastra, Awakening of the Faith in Mahayana. And we have understood that the Mahayana is our mind. Yana actually means vehicle, but yana also means the means. They usually translate it as vehicle, but what yana actually means is a means. We can use the Theravada means, they are perfectly all right. We can use the traditional Mahayana means, they are perfectly all right. We can use the Tantrayana means, they are perfectly all right if we understand them. Many people don't understand them, but they use them and they get confused. It is not the fault of the Vajrayana, it is a fault of the individuals who want to use this means. Similarly, Mahayana, many people get confused, but it is not the fault of Mahayana. When you know Theravada, the real meaning of Buddhism becomes very clear, but the skillful means are very limited. So we need to understand that our mind is a yana, and we should practice that yana, which we find suitable, which we can practice with devotion and with continuity. This is only then we can succeed. Now, the meditation on the breath is the introduction into the practice of mindfulness. No matter what yana we use, the practice of mindfulness, the four foundations of mindfulness, is the base of enlightening practice. We may have all kinds of great ideas, but unless we come down to mindfulness, unless we already very experienced, the confusion will arise. You have mindfulness, no confusion. You don't have mindfulness, lot of confusion. So, the introduction into the study of mindfulness in the Buddhist tradition is the Anapana. When you study the Anapana Samyutta of the Samyutta Nikaya, there is one sutta which says that Buddha, he wants to retire. He is tired. Buddha is also a man, but he has overcome the conditions of an ordinary man. So he becomes the suchness itself, he becomes the ideal itself, but his body is still the body of a man. He's tired, he wants to rest, he's an old man. So he goes to his Gantakuti, and many lay people waiting outside. They want to see him, they want to ask questions. So Ananda asks the Buddha, when these lay people come and ask, I tell him that Buddha is in his Gandakuti, what is he doing? So please tell them that I am meditating on the breath. You find in the Anapana Samyutta. And when you read the Anapana Sutta, the Buddha explains this practice of Anapana is good for the non-realized layman. is good for the Sotapanna, is good for the Arahats. It suits everyone, because this breath is with us moment by moment. Now you are learning this Chinese or Tibetan method of meditation on the breath. So you can find this breath only changes this from the subtle form to more gross form, which comes to our body through the nose. But our body is breathing all the time. That's why we are alive. And every moment there has to be breath in our body. That's why the breath is called Kaya Samskara. Why Kaya Samskara? Because it puts the body together with the mind. If we don't use mind, we are not here. Because we use mind, we are here. Mind is our vehicle. We don't have any other vehicle. Now, when we move the body, it is because of the breath. When we speak, it is because of the breath. When we think, it is because of the breath. The breath moves everything. The subtle movement, gross movement, all about the breath. So, in our text that we have studied, he translates as a life faculty, or life energy, or I forgot. Vital energy, But in the text, Sanskrit, Chinese, it simply says the vayu, the wind, not the vital energy or anything. The vital energy is all right, the translation, but the wind. When you understand vital energy, you think something very mysterious. But the breath is not mysterious at all. It is all the time with us. And due to the breath, we are living. We are not dead. Due to breath, each and every cell of our body can expand and shrink. This is life. And life is with us all the time. Until we die, we are with life. When we are born because we are with life. To be with life means to be with mind and body together. When the mind and body are not together, we are not here. And this kind of awareness you should develop in the meditation on the breath. Because we have to use the Kaya Samskara, that which puts our body together with the mind. Then we can also use the Vachi Sankara, thinking, Vitarka Vichara, weighing in the mind. Vachi Sankara is Vitarka. Now you have learned in the afternoon this Vitarka, the thought. When we think, we don't see the suchness. When we think, we don't see the suchness. The text says, when we don't think, we actually have access to the suchness. It does not mean that we are already the Buddhas, not at all. But we can understand what is alaya vijnana, the base for the thought. Due to this base for the thought, then you have learned in the afternoon, we will repeat again. Then we understand things through the process of thinking. But our thinking is dualistic. As long as it is dualistic, we cannot really penetrate the real nature of our existence, of the world. So we have connected the meditation on the breath with the meditation on the suchness. And with understanding that the dualism comes from the mind itself. We have no time to read in detail. I hope you will have more interest. You will study more. How to understand the suchness. In this tradition, the mind is suchness. But we do not see it in this way because we are not Buddhas. The mind is suchness. No matter whether you study the Madhyamika or you study the Yogacara, the mind is suchness. This is the beginning. Now, in this suchness appears everything. If there is no suchness, nothing can appear. And this is the meditation on the breath is a very suitable means to become aware of it. In this tradition, when your awareness is working, you are, so to say, adopting to the suchness. Tathata anuloma practice. When we think and believe that the object is something separate from us, the subject, then as far as the philosophy of Mahayana, we are not Xiangyin, we are not Samprayukta, we are not really connected with it. We may get enlightenment, but we may understand something from the suchness. Of course, the Arahat, he also knows that these five aggregates, they are like a dream. He does not cling to them. But for the realization of the suchness, the practice of the bodhisattva. The practice of the bodhisattva starts with the bodhicitta. My mind is suchness. I am suchness. I am moving, I am crazy, still it is suchness. I am doing all kinds of funny things, still it is suchness. I am excited, it is still suchness. I am calmed, it is still suchness. I am stupid, it is still suchness. I am very smart, it is still suchness. This is what is to be realized. So, this study of Nagarjuna, study of Asanga, they just want to lead you to that understanding. All kinds of situations, you cannot separate them from suchness. That's why Nagarjuna believes the suchness is meditation on the suchness, meditation on emptiness is the fastest way for deep realization. You may not actually experience the suchness, but if you have the concept of suchness, that is the fastest way for realization. It is only help. No one can teach the ultimate reality. We can only teach the skillful means for understanding the ultimate reality. And meditation on suchness is, no matter whether Vajrayana, no matter whether Zen, whether Chinese Buddhism, Pure Land Buddhism, name it, it is all based on meditation on the suchness. Now you are using the meditation on the breath to understand suchness. The peculiarity of this treatise we are taking for our base is that this Asanga or Maitreya, in Chinese tradition, it is Maitreya who is the author of Yogacara Bhumi Shastra in Chinese tradition, Maitreya in Tibetan tradition, Asanga, it doesn't matter. In the Buddhism, the person is not important, it is the realization which is important. Now we study Buddhism, so you always study this what period and when. It is very important also. Everything we experience is a process. Mahayana as a trend arose due to certain causes and conditions. Theravada arose due to certain causes and conditions. Everything arises due to certain causes and conditions. But this is not all the knowledge. The Buddhism is to penetrate the nature of the dependent origination. And that you cannot do by historical studies, that you cannot do by any academic. You have to have your own experience of suchness. That your mind is really moving in suchness. Kesara's method is for that purpose. It is to understand that everything is happening in suchness. We are thinking in suchness, we are speaking in suchness, we are moving in suchness, we are dying in suchness, we are born in suchness. So, this method, if you understand it, it is the best method. There is nothing better than that. Everything is just a skillful means. Now, in order to understand suchness by the meditation of the breath, we have been explaining, yesterday we started. First, you have to have shamatha in order to have real vipassana. The real vipassana is based on understanding that the mind is suchness, mind is light. When you have object, it is because the mind has light. When you don't have object, the mind is still there and you can still see everything without paying attention to anything in particular. Still the mind is light. If the eye does not have the light of the mind, then the eye is blind. So, your observing the breath is also based on understanding the breath. Understanding is a light. Wisdom is a light. And in this tradition, the wisdom takes you to the understanding of the suchness. In the suchness, that's why we connect it with the recitation of the Heart Sutra. In suchness, everything exists and everything not exists. Existence and non-existence is not the right way to understand the suchness. What is existence is based on non-existence. What is non-existence is based on existence. Now we study suchness. Suchness is a middle way in this tradition. Neither existence nor non-existence. The Theravada Sutta, Mahayana Sutras explain that. Kashyapa Parivarta Sutta, also in Theravada you will find. So, the middle way is suchness. And suchness is a synonym of nirvana. But the suchness does not imply opposite to anything. And that is what is ultimately to be attained. Nothing is opposed to anything. When you deeply realize that nothing is opposed to anything, you will find your peace. That is the deep meaning. Now you are using meditation on the breath, and you can only find this deep meaning when you have samadhi. So we have explained the 9 steps in getting the samadhi, but samadhi here does not necessarily mean you go into the jhana. If you go into the jhana, it is very important experience. It makes your mind very powerful, and it is worthwhile to study it. But the aim is not the jhana. The aim here in this tradition is anabhoga manasikara, the attention without abhoga. Abhoga, for the lack of better translation, we translate effortless. But actually it has a very, very deep meaning, especially in yoga. When you study Hindu yoga, when you study Yogacara Bhumi Shastra, very important, abhoga and anabhoga. Abhoga means application, enjoyment, from the Sanskrit root bhuj, which means to bend. You are bending the mind to the object. Bhuj. From that also comes, you are enjoying the object because you are bending the mind to the object. If you don't bend the mind to the object, what you are enjoying? So learning the meditation is learning how you bend the mind to the object. And this process is called avahana, transport. Please be seated and feel comfortable. So avahana means transport. Even in today's Hindi, Maharashtra avahana. You will find many good expressions. Avahana, carrying, no? Vahati, carrying. You have to carry in order to contemplate any object. You have to carry the mind to the object. You have to bend the mind to the object. If you don't bend the mind to the object, you cannot enjoy the object. Now you are learning the samadhi theory. So in the non-dualistic tradition, the samadhi theory is mastering this process of transporting the mind to the object, so that it becomes anabhoga manasikara, effortless. Even the Buddha, he has to transport the mind to the object. If he does not transport the mind to the object, he does not see the door, he will never come out of this room. But he does it effortlessly. Why? Because he has all the paramis. He has vipassana, he has shamatha. Vipassana means wisdom, shamatha means concentration. But wisdom and concentration become effortless He does not need to strive for anything. That means he is a Buddha. We are striving, therefore we are not Buddhas. We have to see. The Buddha is Buddha because he does not strive, so he is awakened. So whatever tasks he does naturally. The first thing you learn in the Zen tradition in China is we don't know what is natural. We try to be natural. If you try to be natural, you are not natural. You have to see very clearly. If we try to be natural, we are not natural. Therefore, na prapti na aprapti. You cannot reach the object, you cannot not reach the object. Na jnanam na prapti na aprapti. If you have some fixed knowledge, it is not a real knowledge, because you still will search. So you may accumulate many kinds of information, but it is not yet knowledge. The knowledge is when you don't need to search. That is a spiritual knowledge. So the aim of the non-dualistic meditation is to be natural, so that you do not need to suppress anything. And for that you need anabhoga manasikara. You still bend the mind to the object, but you do it effortlessly. This is a state of the Buddha. He bends mind to the object, which is but effortlessly, so it is not bending. He receives the object, which is sensation, but it is not sensation. Sensation is something where you hold to the object. The Buddha has also sensation. Arahant has also sensation, but they do not hold to the object. So sensation becomes no sensation. The mind becomes no mind. Perception becomes no perception. So, the Buddha in Pali is called Anoka. He has no abode in this world. He has perception, but it is no perception. He has attention, but it is no attention. He has sensation, but it is no sensation. So, this is freedom. We learn the Heart Sutra, Kwanzi Zai Bosa, looking at the freedom. Avalokiteshvara means literally in looking at the freedom, investigating the freedom. Kwanzi Zai. What is a freedom? You have mind, but it is not mind. You have sensation, but it is not sensation. You have perception, but it is not perception. You move your body, but it is not really movement. You speak, but you are not really speaking. This is the true meaning of Buddhism, and you want to achieve it by meditating on the breath. So the first step is to understand shamatha, really. Shamatha means, in this tradition of Yogacara Bhumi Shastra, means to attain the spontaneous, natural attention. This forceful attention is is very, very tiresome. We are always tired because we have forceful attention. Bala avahana. Why? Because we always want to attain something for ourselves. So we have bala avahana. Now we have learned, you have now, instead of bala avahana, you have mindfulness, you develop awareness. You have sati. Sati in Chinese. Tenzing is learning Chinese. Sati means nian. Nian means today, chin, and heart beneath it. Very wonderful Chinese. Now and the heart beneath it. You don't need to think too much. You have the picture, you see everything. When you think now. When you feel now. When you move body, you feel now. When you speak, you feel now. Whatever you do, you feel now. When you breathe, you feel now. Now is a breath. The now is life. Life means body and mind are together. Body and mind are together. There is feeling. Feeling is there. It's not a question you want it or you don't want it. It is a question to be there. Feel it. How wonderful becomes a meditation on the breath. You just be with the breath. Now heart. Your object is now. What was before, you are not the master. What will come, you are not the master. What is now, you can put the heart into it, mindfulness. But we, deluded beings, we do things and heart is not there. We speak, heart is not there. We think, heart is not there. We move, heart is not there. Now, then we wonder, we have many problems. Of course we have many problems, heart is not there. Of course we have many problems, heart is not there. Where is your heart? No mind, no heart. That is Zen. That is Zen. This is what Bodhidharma has brought to China. No heart, no mind. But we are deluded, so we need some skillful means to realize that. Now, your skillful means is the breath. When you attain the samadhi of the breath, you learn the dhyanas, but the dhyana in this tradition is not the aim. The aim is to develop spontaneous, natural attention. This is a deep meaning of this explanation of shamatha. To develop this natural, spontaneous attention, you go through these stages. When you practice mindfulness, you don't go to these lower stages which are accompanied by bala avahana, by transporting the mind to the object by force. You don't do it anymore. That means you are progressing in your meditation. So this is a real progress. In this tradition, it's not so much you have attained the jhana, it's not a great thing. You can attain jhana and hold to it like a tick to the blood, but that will not open the eye of wisdom. To attain the jhana is not so difficult, but to practice the spontaneous attention in the jhana, that is very useful and that is very important. In the jhana you still have ups and downs, but the advantage of the jhana, you enter the mano maya kaya. You are in the mental body. And then it's easy to understand chittamatrata. All that happens in the mind. This is experience of the dhyana. So dhyana you cannot disregard. It is very important, but it is not the aim. The aim is the dhyana of wisdom. That is Zen. Zen does not mean the traditional dhyana, chan. Chan means the samadhi of wisdom, effortless samadhi. Anabhoga manasikara. We need anabhoga manasikara. When you have done the training in shamatha, you will get anabhoga manasikara. You can transfer your mind to the object effortlessly. No need to struggle. Peace. And this, to do that, you can study either step by step. In Chinese Buddhism, you have the theory of the sudden enlightenment, and you have the theory of the gradual enlightenment. You can study step by step. You can study this non-dualistic method is that the mind, as you are learning in the afternoon, the mind is the Buddha. But we don't understand it. You are the Chenrezi, you are the Manjushri, you are the Avalokiteshvara, you are Samantabhadra, you are the Buddha. That is a non-dualistic method. It does not mean that you are that, it is a skillful means. So, you have to be taught that from the very beginning you are nothing, therefore you are Manjushri, therefore you are Avalokiteshvara, therefore you are whatever your Ishta Devata may be. Because you are nothing, you can be Chenrezi, you can be Manjushri. It is a method. It does not mean that your meditation is not a progress, as we have explained in the afternoon. You have to understand that you are unenlightened, and the enlightenment is a process. If you don't understand you are unenlightened, you cannot become enlightened. It is impossible. And when you know when you know ignorance, you know wisdom. When you know wisdom, you know ignorance. This is the meaning of the Shradotpada Shastra. The ignorance is impregnating wisdom, wisdom is impregnating ignorance. That is the real meaning of dependent origination. Nothing exists by itself. So, come back to the steps in the meditation. We have started Shamatha meditation. You meditate on the breath, then you will always try to catch the breath. That's all right. Get frustrated, that's all right. Even frustrated, you are still in suchness. You don't leave the suchness. That is why the Asanga teaches you have to have the wisdom from hearing, you have to have the wisdom from weighing in the mind, from contemplation, in order to stay in the frustrated state. Unless you don't find out your ignorance, you will never get wisdom. Ignorance is always related to the wisdom. Problem is, we deluded beings, we separate the wisdom and the ignorance. As long as we do it, we will always be deluded. There is no wisdom without ignorance, there is no ignorance without the wisdom. Buddha has saved all beings, but we are still here. What to do? We are still here, but Buddha has saved all beings because he is in the process of being gone correctly with all the beings. And it is a non-dualistic approach. So, you are frustrated because your method is not the right method. But still you have to continue in the method because you have faith. If you don't have faith, you will not continue. So, to remove the forceful attention which gives us trouble, we need, Asanga explains, we need faith, we need enthusiasm, we need continuous practice, we need devotion to the practice. Then we will start to feel the results. Why we start to feel results? Because we are bringing the mind to the object by mindfulness, putting the heart into the experience, now the breath, now the life, now the mind, now the body, as the experience of our being here in living. The mind is living. It is not dead. In the Shraddhopada Shastra, it is explained that the mind is like a space, mind is like a mirror, but mirror is dead, space is dead, but the mind is alive. It is alive now when you are mindful. Therefore, mindfulness now and heart. We are alive, our heart is beating, so you have the method of watching the in-between breaths. See, like in Chinese medicine, the prana, the chi, is based in blood. We are living, so the blood is circulating in our cells. It is happening now. Not tomorrow, not day after tomorrow, tomorrow not certain, before not certain. It is happening now. So you have mindfulness, we have learned, then you don't have any more bala, avahana, you don't transport the mind to the object by force. You have satchidra avahana, we have explained. Satchidra, you have gaps in your mindfulness. You have gaps in your awareness. It goes away and comes back, goes away and comes back. That is Satchidra Avahana. So, first, Stapayati, you place your mind on the meditation object, which means place your mind inside. Then, Samstapayati, you keep your mind on the same object, mental object. Then, you can Avastapayati. You know when the mind is leaving the object, it is leaving the object. You know when it is on the object, you know it is on the object. So your heart is now at the breathing. When it is firmly established, so upastapayati, kinju. Upa means near. You never leave the vicinity of the object. So you can practice awareness. If you train with an object, if you are away from the object, you are not aware. So the Buddha says in Anapanasati Sutta, if you are not mindful of the breath, you are not practicing Anapanasati meditation. The Buddha says Anapanasati Sutta. Where you are, nobody knows. But still you are there. But nobody knows where you are except your fantasy. Your fantasy will not bring you anywhere. The now will bring you somewhere. The fantasy does not bring us anywhere. The now brings us somewhere. So Dhammayati, You suppress with wisdom, not by force, but by mindfulness and awareness. You suppress this flapping, what do you call it? Flapping, the other word? Thrashing, like mind which is not here. It's like the fish out of the water, flapping, flashing, flashing, thrashing, flapping, thrashing. Your heart is not there, so of course you are flapping, thrashing. No wonder. So you are not flapping, you are not thrashing, you are shamayati. Your mind becomes appeased. That is a sixth stage, a critical stage, the key to, according to this non-dualistic tradition, to combine the shamatha and vipassana together. Unless you are appeased, you cannot combine shamatha and vipassana together. Because shamatha means understanding of the suchness, understanding of the light. Vipassana means understanding chittamatrata. If you are in suchness, if you are in the real mind, so you understand that when the fish start flapping, thrashing, that is your fantasy. It is not real. Very wonderful. You can use it in meditating, you can use it in daily life. Flapping, thrashing means you are not here and now. Clear? So, shamayati, this is the key. If your mind is appeased, when it has tendency to flapping, that means object is not clear, experience is not clear, heart is not fully there. Therefore you had to let go. Excitement. If the object is not clear, you cannot let go. So you have to apply will to see the object clearly, right? The will has to come together with investigating the object, Dhammavavatthana in Pali. It has to come together with effort. If you don't make effort, effort is will, based on will. If you don't investigate the object, if you don't have clear distinction of the object, then your mind will sink, continue sinking. Because your mind is sinking, you need again flapping. Again, flapping, because you let it be sunk, therefore you want to draw it by force back, but you will not succeed. If you do it by force. You have to do it by awareness. So when the awareness is developed, then shamayati becomes vyupashamayati, vyupashamayati, very much appeased. The seventh stage of concentration, seventh stage of learning effortless concentration. Learning wisdom in this tradition is based on learning effortless concentration. If the concentration is by force, no wonder eyes are flipping or dull. So you can choose between, if you have no ability for understanding your process, you are always either flapping or dull. Now you are shamayati, therefore you understand things in a subtle way. If your mind is not appeased, you cannot understand things in the subtle way. It has to be appeased to understand things in the subtle way. When you understand things in the subtle way, you understand the subtle tendencies of the mind, either to dullness or to flapping, excitement. So the wisdom is based on appeasement, shamatha. Appeasement means samadhi. In this tradition, it means understanding suchness. The movement is in suchness. It cannot leave the suchness. That is vipassana. No movement, you can penetrate suchness. Movement, it's all in mind. But for that, the mind has to be appeased. If the mind is not appeased, you cannot understand. Impossible. We want to understand impossible, we are in trouble. We can only do possible. No one can do impossible. Not even Buddha can do impossible. That is Buddhism. To understand possible means to understand dependent origination. Your mind becomes a pure land. It is possible, but if you have the causes and conditions for that, if you don't have the causes and conditions for that, your mind will never be a pure land. So one has to understand the causes and conditions. If you want to become Zen, become one with your body, mind and sensation, you have to understand the causes and conditions. If you don't understand, you will never have the genuine Zen experience, Satori, Kaiwu. Studying Buddhism is studying dependent origination. The Buddha becomes perfectly enlightened, becomes a Dharmakaya, because he has studied for a long time. Now we want quick results, nothing will come, because we don't understand the causes and conditions. But understanding this psychology, the philosophy of non-dualistic approach will help. Certainly will help. Because when we understand that even in our depression we cannot leave the suchness, it will help, but only if we develop a certain right samadhi based on right mindfulness. So this is a lesson you are learning on the breath, the right samadhi. In order, when your mind is appeased, how to make it very appeased. Not to make too much effort, not to make too little effort. Neither abhoga nor anabhoga. Not yungkong, not puyungkong. That is very difficult. That is very difficult. So we can succeed for some little time, but then again we either use too much effort or too little effort. So the learning, it takes time. We always want the quick results. The result will be smaller. The quickest result is patience. We don't have patience, therefore we are nervous, we have stress. Our civilization is a civilization of stress. In the civilization of stress, everything is fast, but as far as spiritual is concerned, everything is much slower. What to do? Because we have bad habits. In Tibet, before, they had a lot of time. So they can do puja whole day. And they have a lot of fun with music and so. They learn instruments and they learn visualization, they learn concentration whole day. In between, a lot of tea and some nice sweets coming along. So what better can you get? So slowly, slowly, you get clear. But fast. Fast, messing about, flapping, thrashing, that will not do. So the Asanga, very wise. First, we have to appease the mind. Then if we appease the mind, we can sit in the puja, we can sit in the bus, we can sit in the train, we can study in the classroom, we can walk around the Himalayas, but we will not be flapping, and we will not be dull, because the mind is here and now. Right? That is to be learned. And to keep the mind here and now, to keep this awareness, you need to understand, and you can only understand, this is the greatness of Asanga. You can only understand when your mind is appeased. If your mind is appeased, you think you understand, but you don't understand. This is our problem. We think we understand, but we don't understand. If the mind is not appeased, it cannot understand. It will be either dull or flapping, like a fish out of the water. So what to do? understand how to not to put too much effort into your attention, not to put too little effort in enjoying the object. Abhoga means enjoying. That is why Mahayana speaks of Sambhoga Kaya. Sambhoga Kaya is the body of the Samadhi. You are enjoying what Samadhi? Pure Land Samadhi. You are enjoying the Pure Land of your heart. In order to enjoy the Pure Land of your heart, you have to understand suchness. Stupidity is never separated from the Tasen Chishin Lun. Shradotpada Shastra says stupidity is never separated from wisdom. Wisdom is never separated from stupidity. You think nuisance, but still you are not separated from the truth. Mind is giving you trouble, yet you are not separated from the truth. You are to learn from the mind. The mind is a dharma. You have learned the mind is a dharma. There is no other dharma than that. The most stupid, most depressed, you are still in the dharma. You have fear, you are still in the dharma. How can you leave the dharma? You are depressed, you are still the dharma. You have worries, you are still the dharma. You have stress, you are still the dharma. When you understand, in order to understand that, you have to be appeased. If you're not appeased, you cannot understand that. When you understand you are appeased, then you can bring your mind to a complete peace by not putting too much effort in lifting your mind from drowsiness and not to put too little effort in letting your mind go. Balance. And who is balancing? Visuddhimagga explains very clearly. These 5 faculties have to become 5 powers. Pancha Indriya have to become Pancha Bala. The Virya, effort, has to become the power of effort. The faith has to become the power of faith. The wisdom has to become the power of wisdom. The samadhi has to become the power of samadhi. Then the sati will become the power of the sati. Because of the power of the sati, you can balance the power of wisdom, power of samadhi, power of faith, and power of effort. If you don't have the power of sati, how can you do it? If you put too much effort, you will be excited. If you put too little effort, your mind will sink. If you have too much faith, you will also be excited. If you have too little faith, you will not continue in the practice. If you have too much wisdom and no samadhi, you will become depressed because everything in the world is suffering. If you have too much samadhi and no wisdom, then you will be always drowsy because samadhi is in the deep state of mind. The mind tends to fall down unless it is protected by wisdom, right? So, when these faculties have ripened, when they are well balanced, you don't need too much effort, you don't use too little effort, you can attain the one-pointedness of the mind. Ekoti karoti. Ekoti karoti. One mind, one object. Be it the breath, be it any other skillful means, in Zen like Huato, or Kung An. Completely one. Then, on the base of one-pointedness, you have samadhi. Samadhi is explained as effortless attention. Not too much effort, not too little effort. And it only comes by the habit of practicing one mind, one-pointedness. So all this you can train on the breath. You have got these 4 exercises of working with the breath. The preliminary to these exercises is also, in a way, the end of these exercises. Satova asasati, satova pasasati. I am breathing in mindfully, I am breathing out mindfully. When I'm breathing in and out mindfully, with awareness, using panya, then breathing in the long breath, breathing in the out breath, breathing in the long breath, breathing out the long breath. I do not need to think anything. It is just happening naturally. Not too much effort, not too little effort. When the short breath, the same. Not too much effort, not too little effort. Digham asasanto, digham asasami tipajanati, digham pasasanto, digham pasasami tipajanato, rasam asasami, rasam asasanto tipajanati, rasam pasasanto, rasam pasasami tipajanati. Happens naturally, I don't need to do anything special. Just I'm noticing mindfully when I'm breathing in a long breath, I'm not breathing in a short breath. Now you have the Chinese tradition, you have 4 types of breath. When the gross breath is long, the in-between breath will be short. When the in-between breath becomes long, the gross breath will become short. When you make effortless, concentrated attention on the in-between breath, then naturally this gross breathing will become shorter, and you go into the subtle states of mind, subtle states of sensation. Subtle state of mind is based on subtle sensation. The more wisdom and concentration you use on the breath, the more subtle the breath becomes. This is what Visuddhimagga explains. Now if you want to use this Chinese method, so this in-between breath is your guideline. This is also very important if you want to study a little bit the tantric meditation. It's very important. You want to study Tummo, you want to study such things. This breathing is very important, inner breathing. When you're not breathing here, your body is still breathing. And you can conduct this breath. You can conduct it through the Sushumna, you can conduct it through the Ida Pingala. There is so much to learn if you use this method. But now we don't talk about it. First you have to establish yourself. Then you can also combine with the Qigong. The Qigong meditation also goes into the unity with the subtle breath. And you guide the body through the subtle breath. You become aware of it. So many things to learn if you use this subtle method. But now, first of all, you learn to appease your mind. Qigong is also based on appeasement of the mind. But first, to appease the mind, they are using some nice music also. But this is only the beginning. When you go into the deeper stages, you don't need any music, So it's not bad to use the music and to use all kinds of skillful means. There's nothing bad. Or the movement, what Kesa is doing, it is very good. But we want to go deeper. And for that, we have to learn the one-pointedness of the mind. When we have one-pointedness of the mind and we have habit one-pointedness of the mind, we can let go immediately. We don't need any movement for that. So what is samadhi in this tradition? It is a habit of one-pointedness of the mind. That means the learning process, first you have the wisdom from hearing, then you have the wisdom from weighing in the mind, how much time we spend during the day meditating on the Dharma. When you have weighed it in the mind, you will make effort to be mindful. When you are mindful, you will have awareness. When awareness becomes habit, you will have one-pointedness of the mind. When one-pointedness of the mind, you will remain habit of one-pointedness of the mind. You will have habit of one-pointedness of the mind. You will become Buddha. Buddha is always in samadhi. This is the wisdom of Asanga, wisdom of this Yogacara tradition. Step by step you learn. But at the same time you also know that this suchness is your true mind. This is Shradotpada Shastra, Tashan Chishilnun. Suchness is your mind. You are depressed, it is also suchness. You make mistakes, it is also suchness. You have worries, it is also suchness. You are excited, it is also suchness. What a wonderful world. How can you go away from suchness? So, the mind is a lesson. We don't have any other teacher. The mind is a teacher. No other teacher is there. The best teacher can only point to the mind. Where is your mind? Now, you can do it, all kinds of initiations, it's all right. No harm for that. But the essence is only that. The mind is a teacher. You are depressed, the mind is a teacher. You are happy, the mind is a teacher. You are in samadhi, mind is a teacher. You are annoyed, mind is a teacher. You are dull, mind is a teacher. You are very smart, and mind is a teacher. You are sick, mind is a teacher. You are healthy, mind is a teacher. In Ayurveda medicine, Chinese medicine, same. All our troubles in body and the mind, they are pragya aparada, due to making a nuisance with your understanding. Our understanding makes nuisance. Why our understanding makes nuisance? Because we have not understood suchness. Okay. Too many theories and words is what I have forgotten always. Sasha will remind us. Too many concepts leads to what? Mental indigestion. Mental indigestion manifests as mental diarrhea or mental constipation. We don't want mental diarrhea, we don't want mental constipation, so we study slowly. But I hope this course will be some opening for you, and we can work with our happiness with wisdom and with our suffering with wisdom. So we become more and more peaceful. Okay? So now we have a break. How long? You calculate 40 minutes meditation and break.
Try to come back before 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes, huh? 10 minutes walking meditation, Then we will have some meditation. If you, in between, you can do also walking, or you can continue meditating as you wish. Huh? Okay?